guys. I'm back. Welcome to month 9 of the 2020 Hunger Games. My name is Sidney and I'm afraid to leave my house. It's been a while since I've posted, so I thought today would be a good day to turn on the camera, upload a YouTube video for you guys, and then get back to work. Now, for those of you who are new to this channel or don't follow me on Twitter, in August, I had decided to take some time off from work as well as YouTube to recover from having surgery in the middle of a pandemic. Now, between the bleeding and the vomiting and taking a questionable amount of oxycodone, the surgery was fine, considering that I had a couple of people's fingers in my mouth. And here we are now, 4 weeks post-surgery. I am back to work. I'm uploading this YouTube video, and I feel completely fine. Except that I'm not. During my slow transition back to work, I had noticed a couple of things in my day-to-day routine I was doing that was a little bit questionable. I'd been more irritable when speaking to friends and family and coworkers. I started working much longer hours than I needed to without taking an opportunity to get away from my clients or the computer or just standing up from my desk. I had stopped working out, I had stopped meditating. I realized suddenly that I stopped drinking water during the day and wondered why in the world I was having all these headaches. Now, these symptoms I was exhibiting long before my brief vacation, but tended to notice them as soon as I was making the transition back to work. More importantly, I realized that all of these symptoms were signs of burnout. Burnout? Burnout! Burnout, you boo. Now, for anybody watching this and connecting the dots to their own symptoms and thinking, oh, yeah, that's about right. I just want to take the time to pause here and tell you that it's totally okay. This is something that can happen to anybody. This is not your fault, and you are not the problem, unless you're not staying at home, or social distancing, or wearing a mask when you go out. Then you definitely are the problem. We have been quarantining in our homes for more than 6 months. We can't see our family, we can't see our friends, we can't touch people. When we go outside, we have to use protection. The federal government believes that $1,200 was enough to support every American household through this time. Not to mention, all of California is on fire. How can you not be stressed? Considering the fact that we'll be stuck in our homes until 2022, you should probably figure out the source of your stress. Right? You know, this is like being in one of those Sarah McLachlan commercials. You remember those with the animals? For just $6.66 a day, you too can sponsor a cold, broken, suffering American in the arms of an angel. And just to get rid of mine so I don't have to pour a glass of wine at 2 p.m. every day, I sat down with my coach and therapist to get some awesome, helpful tips to combat my burnout. The big wisdom here in taking breaks is to actually give yourself permission to take breaks. Say, for instance, blocking out time in your calendar to get up and go to the bathroom. I've personally committed myself to take 1 hour blocked off on my calendar each day to do something fun. For me, that means I could be going to take a walk or playing video games or watching an episode of some trash TV. And then I reserve Saturdays to exclusively film YouTube videos and then do whatever the hell I want for the rest of the day. Which brings me to my next tip. Do you like to bike? Do you like to draw pictures or take your kids to the park? Do you like to read? Do you like to play Minecraft? Do you like sitting alone in the bathroom and picking your toenails for that sweet, sweet picking sensation? Then do that. I don't judge. Because the more time you give yourself to focus on doing the things that you love, you tend to be more joyful. And when you're more joyful, you tend to not sweat the small stuff or dissect the lives of idiots. And since you've committed this time to being a habit, you also will not accept people impeding on your time. When you say no, you better mean no, because saying no to a task or delegating things to a partner or a child or a coworker, that doesn't make you a bad person. Just a happier one. I mean, if you can help it, why not don't try and skip that meeting where your boss talks about how good you and your team made him look in front of his executive buddies. You don't need to hear that every week. Nobody needs to hear that every week. We're in a pandemic and your roommate seems to have the good idea of having people over. It's just one little party, only 3 or 4 people are gonna show up. What's the big deal? No. The cool thing about our bodies is that we live in a meat sack with a very efficient, very complex self-regulation system that literally tells us whenever anything is wrong. So when you're at a crossroads choosing between putting in that one last hour of work and giving your body 8 hours of sleep, please choose your body, because if you don't take a break, your body will do it for you. And then you end up in the hospital. Is that what you want? In a pandemic? Huh? Whenever I feel extremely negative about a person or a situation, the first thing I do is note it down and journal about it later. The second thing that I do is talk to my therapist. The reason why I think it's good to verbalize your stresses or concerns is for 2 reasons. There are a lot of people in this world who are doers that tend to solve their problems immediately after they've just let it all out. And there are people who prefer to be listened to and then given objective and sound advice. But the cool thing that these 2 people have in common is that they've literally learned to offload all of their problems and acknowledge their existence. That way you have the brain space to either find a solution yourself or the brain space to receive a solution from a trusted source. That can mean for you going to a licensed therapist or talking with your partner, your friends, or finally calling your mother. It could literally be your dog you're just spouting words at. It's not like they can tell anybody your business, and I'm sure they will be more than happy to listen after they've eaten or licked their butthole. And if you don't want to be vulnerable because you don't trust anybody, keep a journal on hand. It could be a digital notebook like mine, or it can be a cute little notebook you just put on your bedside. No magical Lisa Frank diary with rainbows, butterflies, and magical lock and key set required here. Anyways, that's all the abundant wisdom that I have for you today. But if you're feeling burnt out or have a solution to my fellow people in the Burnt Out Club, make sure you leave a comment below. And if you like this video, make sure that you like it and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And for more tech, lifestyle, and unsolicited advice, make sure you subscribe to my email list and follow me on my socials. Okay, so that felt good. Yeah, I think I'm done, and I'm gonna return to work now, so okay, bye.